our people there truly wanted to make a difference. We take safety so serious that we're so small and so tight-knit that we all want to go home safe and go home to our loved ones. So everyone there just had the best attitude towards it. And it wasn't like I was pushing them, they were pushing each other.
I'm Tyler Simmons. Welcome to In the Yard, a Western States podcast. From employees with decades of experience to customers working hard in the field. Join me for conversations with some of our industry's best and brightest to hear their stories in the heavy equipment world. Episodes will drop bi-weekly, so see you in the yard. All right, Erik and Ally, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us, Tyler.
Yep. Real quick, Erik, why don't you do a quick introduction? Tell me about your job role, what you do here at Western States, and where you're at.
My name is Erik Sagli. I work up in the Kalispell branch of Western States Equipment. I work for the rental division, and I'm an apprentice rental technician. So what we handle primarily is anytime a customer rents a machine and it comes back, we process it and make it ready for rent again. So we green tag it, basically cleaning cabs, washing windows, greasing machines, checking filters, and then doing small repairs as necessary to make sure those machines stay top shape. And specifically our aerial equipment is the most important, focusing on annual inspections and quarterly inspections, making sure that that equipment stays in tip-top shape so our customers can stay safe.
Awesome, that's cool. And Ally?
I am Ally Gates. I work in Twin Falls. I am the service coordinator. I basically do all the paperwork start to finish for the shop, the main shop. I'm also the safety squad leader there, and then I'm a part of the branch leadership team.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, you guys are down here at the Western States Annual Leadership Meeting, which is a total awesome experience from my perspective of just all the Western States leaders getting together, talking about the vision for 2025, 2026, where we're going as an organization and what that looks like. One of the cool things that happens during this session is we do, as an executive team, we get together and we select a person for an executive safety award. But that person is recommended by people of their branch and people by Western States through nominations, right? So it's very much a peer process that comes through, and then we go through and review it, and based on criteria, okay, these are the two people that get it. And the wonderful, phenomenal thing is Erik and Ally, you guys won this year. That's pretty amazing. Out of an organization of about 1,200 people, you guys were the two people that won that executive safety award.
That's pretty amazing.
I don't think I've wrapped my head around it yet. For our year specifically, for the year of 2024, there were a total of 71 nominations that were given for 51 different people. So 51 people were nominated for this award, and we were the two to get it. Which, looking at the list of people who made the top 10, was like, there's no way I beat them. Absolutely not. But here we are.
And the people that were nominated truly are amazing as well. And they're
all amazing.
They deserve that recognition for sure, because everyone is amazing.
They did amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, good. Yeah, I mean, phenomenal thing. So real quick, Ally, so tell me a little bit about the safety culture there in Twin Falls and what the role you play in that is.
So there was a safety culture in Twin when I first got there. I was almost voluntold to be on the safety squad, and just my personality and the way I was raised, I jumped right in. I went full-fledged for it. I was so excited. The biggest thing was Dan Neff was in Twin while I was still there, and he was on the safety squad as well, and he pushed me hard to come up with ideas, get everyone on board, and I have a lot of thank yous to give to him for that. But the safety culture just wasn't there. I mean, they did a safety meeting, they did observations here and there, and then that was kind of it. My goal was to basically start fresh and really push hard for that safety culture, start implementing new ideas that they haven't done so it wasn't as boring, and everyone jumped on board. So we implemented the yard cleanup, which was huge in our Twin Falls branch. The wind blows just a little bit in Twin, so that was huge to get our foot through the door. Squatch Watch was huge just for our whole business, but we kind of took it to the next level in Twin, and I pushed them even harder than our main safety team was. And then another thing I think was coming up with the safety train idea. That was huge for Twin. That really pushed things further. I think knowing because it was a branch idea, everyone jumped on board and everyone was all about it. It was awesome.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So pretty influential in changing it and jumping in and making it different. What What kind of gave you the passion to drive that and kind of help be a part of that and motivated you to do that?
I think that's just who I am. Is I want to take care of everybody. I want to be a person that they can lean on and trust. So I think that was my biggest motivator. The way I was raised is no doubt how that got me there. If I'm going to be asked to do something, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to give 100%. But also our people there truly wanted to make a difference. We take safety so serious that we're so small and so tight knit that we all want to go home safe and go home to our loved ones. So everyone there just had the best attitude towards it. And it wasn't like I was pushing them, they were pushing each other. So we have a great team down in Twin. Brad was a huge part of it, as well as our branch manager, pushing everybody and bringing it up all the time.
That's awesome. So let's talk a little bit about Kalispell and the safety culture up there and kind of your role in influencing that and what you played as part of on the safety team up there.
Absolutely. When I started, Kalispell Safety Squad had 2 members. One was the lead tech in the rental shop, and then the other was one of the apprentices in the main shop. And when I started on, I didn't come from an equipment background. I'm the first one in my family to ever deal with Caterpillar directly. They're mostly plumbers, and so they've played with equipment. They like the equipment. I liked the equipment growing up, and I knew I liked the technical stuff. I like being a mechanic. So what that meant was when I went into the shop with kind of a fresh set of eyes, and I saw the things that we consider small on a daily basis, we consider a 304 12-inch bucket to be small, right? That's a pretty small item that can be handled by just about anybody. That bucket weighs 194 pounds. And that kind of dawned on me for a second that these guys deal with death right there all the time. And that didn't scare me, but it really clarified some things for me and really made me understand why the safety culture was as strict as it was. And I went, there's no reason for it to be a negative thing. This should be a positive thing. So I took to heart the policies mostly. I didn't break or change any rules. I just followed the rules as they were and followed them to the letter of the law. And when I did that, the recognition that I got from my lead tech was like, you would be amazing in the safety squad. I'm moving into a different position. Would you like to take Rental's position in the safety squad? And I said, you know what, I'm a new tech. I could use all the experience I could get at this point. Absolutely. I don't know exactly what that entails, but we'll figure it out as we go. So as time went on, I basically just followed the rules and used an open mind and tried to see things from a fresh perspective. That's where my talent shines the most. Is I don't have experience in the equipment world the way that most other families do. I mean, it's usually a family thing for everybody. So when I look at these problems, it is looking at them for the first time and seeing what can we do different to keep people out of harm's way as time goes on. So I've not done nearly as much as Ally has in her store. You've been a rock star for what you've done. As far as from an administrative point of view, just making things happen and making things really, really easy to cooperate with. Mine's more been boots on the ground, doing things and having guys come up to me and say, why are you doing it that way? And when I give them the reason, they go, why aren't we doing it that way? We should be doing that too. So more of a leading from example, but I can definitely tell you I struggle in the administrative part, just finding the time to try and organize. We didn't do a winter campaign. We tried to start one. And I couldn't get anywhere with it because I couldn't find the time. So.
No, I understand that. It's very time consuming. And there's a point where, I mean, I am a service admin and that is my job. But I do try to find that little bit just to bring in that atmosphere of getting people kind of ramped up and riled up. And sometimes I think I put too much time and effort into it, which isn't a bad thing, but to a point where it's like there's got to be a balancing act too. But I do wish I did have some experience as well, just to keep our tech safer too. I wish I had that experience of, hey, should you be doing it that way? But I don't, so I envy you for that. That's awesome.
So what's really cool to hear, to listen to you guys' stories, is they're different, right? And the cultures are different in each location, and the need is different for each location too. And it's still, even though you guys didn't take the same actions or did the same things, you're still making a huge impact on safety at your local branch. So I don't think there's a right or wrong reason in not having enough admin time or not knowing enough tech thing. You guys both have had a huge impact with your skills that you have now and needed to help make a difference in whatever was needed in that store. And that's what's important and impactful. which is totally cool to hear. And that's what was just really interesting for me to hear, is like your story is a little bit different than your story, but it still has made a huge impact overall. So good work to both of you. So both of you mentioned the safety squad. So let's talk about that. Ally, what is the safety squad? What is, that's a Western States term a little bit. So let's just talk about what the safety squad is and what it does.
I would say, so we basically are the voice for safety in your branch, I guess is the way I would put it. We facilitate the safety meetings monthly in our branch. We do our facility audits. I kind of keep track monthly of like how we're doing on observations, concerns. Thank goodness that we haven't had any incidents, so we haven't had to jump in as a safety squad in that role necessarily, but I keep track of all of that. I check fire extinguishers, eye wash stations, first aid kits. Yeah, am I missing something?
Not really. I think the biggest thing, that the reason why I think the safety squad is so successful is, well, like I said, I am not an executive. I am not a manager. I'm not a supervisor. I am an apprentice rental technician, which is about the most redheaded stepchild of Western States as you can get. Just ask any rental tech and they will tell you. However, I get to go to things like this and I hear what the big picture is. And what that allows me to do is that allows me to communicate with both the high level people and the guys on the ground, because the guys on the ground don't understand. They see all the rules and the policies and they go, yeah, I will do this because I have to, but I'm not going to put my heart into it. It doesn't apply to me. It doesn't make sense. This is wrong. This is somebody else's idea. Safety squad's position, primarily what I've found, where we shine the most and where we are most effective is our communication between those levels of ranks. It is the techs that are just trying to get the job done. Man, I'm just here to put in my time today, get as many machines prepped and ready to go as in the best quality that I can, and I don't need to waste my time with safety. My job is to go in and tell them, you're not wasting your time. This is just a part of the process. And here's why that part of the process is important. I'm going to break it down to cuss words and, weird movie quotes and things like that are going to make it make sense to the guys on the ground, because they're not dumb. They just think different. We always do. That, I think, is really the biggest shining point of having the safety squads. Is we don't make any more money. We don't do anything like that, but we get to experience a part of why we want to do the things that we want to do, why Western States has the safety culture that it does, and we're able to translate that to the guys on the ground and have them go, oh, I'm on board with this. Yours is a fantastic example. Your guys's, your prizes and things that you did during the squash and with your yard cleanup and all that stuff is a huge, fantastic way of communicating that, where you got the guys involved and passionate. You got them excited to do it. You got them to where they were the driving point, not just you. You just had to direct them at that point. They're looking to you for that leadership, and that's where that really shines. Is, I would say, our responsibility primarily is to assist safety by allowing the effective communication from the higher channels to the boots on the ground.
I think one of the biggest wins that I got to witness is there's such a stigma to the safety squad of where it's almost your job to do safety audits. It's your job to check fire extinguishers. I kind of pushed our people in Twin that, yes, I will do a safety audit and I will go through and check all the fire extinguishers and all this stuff. But I motivated them and pushed them to do one and truly see those different kind of impacts that it has in our store. And now if a tech is slow, a tech will do a safety audit and check fire extinguishers. And it's just getting every individual out there to truly be involved in safety. They know where the extinguishers are. They know the muster points. They know all of this stuff. They identify hazards in the yard instead of just walking it constantly. So I think in Twin, it's opened a lot of people's eyes up to that. It's not just the safety squad's job, but this is the right thing to do. And now I feel more safe and more comfortable where I work.
Oh, that's awesome. So that's cool. And I mean, it's a testament to the culture Western States has around safety. It's just part of what we do now in a lot of ways.
I don't think they realize how fun the safety squad is.
No, it's a blast.
Like the workshop that we did last September, obviously I'd never been to one before. That was the first year I'd ever gone. And when we went, even just sitting in a blank wall conference room in a hotel, just laughing, having a good time. We're just bouncing ideas off each other, sharing success stories, sharing even sad stories. It was very emotional too, but it was one of those things that it's like, everybody kind of thinks of safety as the weird nerds that just don't want to mingle with them. They're a lot of fun, especially at Western States. There's those people that take it seriously, but also not so seriously. I think the biggest thing, my biggest misconception that is not here at Western States is that there's no safety police. And that's what everybody thinks safety squad or the safety team is. And they're always looking for the people that are out of line, and they're walking around with a hard hat and a clipboard just looking for stuff that's wrong. That's not how it is here at Western States. It's completely different from that. They're genuinely looking to help. And if you are falling short somewhere, their first action, not request or response, their first action is how do they make it easier for you to get done what you need to get done. And that has been apparent and very clear since day one. Yeah.
That's awesome. So have you guys, have you told your family members yet or anybody back home yet you got the awards?
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
My younger brother was really excited for my trip, and he had fingers crossed, and he had some really, really high hopes. So as soon as we had break after that, I sent him a picture of the award, and he tried to call me, but it is what it is. But yeah.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah, they're pretty excited.
And Ally, who have you told?
I told my dad. My dad he also works at CAT, and he's also on the safety squad with me, so that's been super fun. And so I told my dad and my fiance.
Oh, awesome.
And they were both so excited.
That's so cool. And
Yeah.
so let's talk about your dad for a minute here, because that's always an interesting family connection for me when I talk to people at Western States, just because the biggest compliment, I think, to an organization and the culture is when family members work there and we work together collaboratively and like, yeah, come on and join. And that's a huge compliment. So
Generational career, right?
it really is. And I think it's a cool thing that we have that's unique at Western States. So who's your dad and what does he do?
So my dad is Gordy Gates. He is the rental at the rental store in Twin.
There you go.
He has worked there for 27 years. He started in the parts department. I actually was a little tiny kid running around in the Twin Falls branch. So I grew up in that store, which is kind of a funny story. But yeah, he's also on the safety squad. He got to go to the safety squad leader meeting with me this year, and we're having a blast. It's awesome working with your dad.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. And then, I mean, it's just, he's got to be super proud right now.
Yeah, he's super
Just because, you know, the passion that you show for safety and the influence you've had there in Twin Falls is totally awesome.
Yeah.
And Eric, that's so cool. You shared it with your little brother and he's calling you right away and wanting to share that moment with you. And I think that's pretty cool. So as you guys go back to your stores, and so as you go back to Kalispell and you go back to Twin Falls, what do you guys think you're going to tell the store?
Bragging rights.
Okay.
I'm gonna start flaunting around my medal and being like, haha, I did it. No, as far as telling them, I do want to share a lot of the other stuff that we talked about here in the leadership meeting, because same thing like what I said about the communication from higher channels to lower channels. It's really important that message gets shown through, because Western States is that powerful of a company and their focus really is their employees. And I don't know that their employees realize it as much as it is. That's why I'm actually really happy being on the safety squad, because I still have my normal job. I have my normal responsibilities and things like that. I don't have to worry about a lot of stuff. I'm not kept awake at night by the machines I didn't green tag. But at the same time, I get a look at what the higher ups are trying to do. And I look at the decision makers and I look at all these things and I go, this is very, very useful information that, barring of course stuff that shouldn't be shared, a lot of this is just really good stuff. Why can't we share this with everybody? So I do that as much as I can. So when we're going back, I'm absolutely telling them and you know, going to share this experience as much as I can with them. And I want them to be excited about it. And I hope that they do get excited. I hope that they hope to aspire to a similar thing, and that they want to see what they can accomplish by that same means.
Awesome. That's cool. And Ally?
I think the biggest thing I'll do when I go back is just thank them. Truly, knowing that they nominated me, I feel so honored. I feel honored being invited to this meeting. I feel honored just getting that trophy. I don't know if I was truly aware of the example that I was setting, but now it's put fire under me, and I want to just keep going. I want to keep motivating people. I want to hopefully encourage people to be a part of the safety squad. I think a lot of people look at it like, I already have a job, I don't have time. But but there's no excuse for it. It's amazing. It's a great way to get your voice out. And everyone should do it. Everyone should be a part of it. Everyone should be able to experience that. And I hope they're never afraid to do that. I hope I can motivate them to be a part of such an amazing culture that safety truly is. I just want to help everyone. So I'm going to thank them for sure, and then let them know that because of what they're doing is truly making a difference. And I think they know that, but not to the extent. So I want to pass that message along of don't stop doing what you're doing, but let's just keep pushing even harder and knowing that they're making a difference.
Not only making a difference, they're setting the example.
Yeah.
And that's in our company specifically, with the safety culture we already have, for a branch to be setting an example above the others, that's pretty wild. So pass that along to them as well, that you've got an exemplary team up there. Good job.
I will pass that along. Thank you.
Well, cool. Well, thank you both for joining me today. Thank you both for your passion about safety and the difference you're making at each of your locations. Like Erik said, you guys are both leading the way in Kalispell and Twin Falls, and your stores are leading the way on safety and making a difference. So thank you both. I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to see the work you guys do in the future. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having us. This is awesome. This is an honor as well. This
Cool.
is so cool.
Awesome.
This is great.
Thank you.